when it comes to BRS, where do companies usually hit that roadblock in this Business Central?
And that's where the ISVs like Yavrio comes into a picture.
So what does Yavrio actually do?
Then they're able to import their bank statements.
Where are bank credentials stored, and how do you make sure that company feels safe?
Some of the ISVs have no idea how they will actually support.
We have our own tool. It's an AI tool. It's called Magic Bank Rec. They don't want to be spending even that, let's say, 30 minutes.
How does Yavrio make this smoother?
Security is the biggest value we have here.
Are they ready for that shift, basically?
That's a need of the time for the finance team, and they knows it.
How different does my life look after Yavrio is in place?
The banking space in the US is maturing.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Dynamics Insight Webcast. I'm your host Ramita. Today we are talking about something every business has to deal with, which is banking. So reconciling statements, sending payments, making sure your books are actually matching your bank account. I think it sounds simple, but anyone in finance knows that it can be a real headache. So now Microsoft Dynamics Business Central gives companies a great ERP to manage finance and operations, obviously. But here's the catch. VC doesn't directly talk to your bank out of the box, right? So that's where Yavrio comes in. You can think of Yavrio as a secure bridge between VC and your bank. It automates reconciliations, streamlines payments, and helps to reduce that fraud risk. So, and to unpack all of this, I've got Joshua from Yavrio and Arish from Dynamic Square with me today. Joshua will walk us through Yavrio inside the Business Central, and Arish will share the ERP and the customer perspective. So, welcome both of you today. We're so glad to have the session finally. It would be great if you both could introduce yourselves.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Josh.
Yeah, sure.
Working with Yavrio as a partner success manager. We're obviously UK based, but I'm working on the US side of things. And yeah, just like you said, Ramita, we're wanting to make banking really simple and easy for people who may not be banking experts, but again, they just want the simple experience.
Hello, Ramita. Good to see you again, and thank you for having me. Joshua, good to see you here as well. I'm Arish, and I'm a sales professional. Currently leads sales, marketing, and go-to-market strategies for Dynamic Square North America, specifically the US and Canadian region provinces. So at Dynamic Square, we focus on helping businesses adopt the right Dynamics 365 business applications, automating processes like using Power Platform or through ISVs solutions in order to get most out of these solutions. So ultimately, making business more efficient. So a significant part of my experience involves working with Dynamics 365 Business Central as well. So over the years, I have collaborated with businesses across various industries, helping them leverage Dynamics 365 to streamline their operations within a unified platform. So yeah, that's about me.
Thank you so much, both of you, for insightful introduction, I must say. Okay. So Joshua, should I call you Josh or Joshua? You introduce yourself as Josh.
Yeah, Josh is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So Josh, I know bank reconciliations aren't exactly the highlight of a Wednesday morning. Today's Wednesday, so I'm not sure it's gonna be a good news. So what's your go-to fuel for your finance talks? Is it the coffee or the tea?
Yeah. So I'm not actually a huge coffee drinker myself, so kind of have to make do with other options. Usually it's some sort of smoothie, whether it's like a protein smoothie or some sort of fruit thing. So I know that it shocks a lot of people when I say I don't drink coffee. They're like, how do you survive? and they're on
Yeah.
their third or fourth coffee of the day. So, but what can I say? It's enough for me. Just a smoothie.
So that smoothie helps you give some good insights where you can talk about the finance sector.
Yeah, it's enough. Turns out. I guess we'll find out today, huh? We'll
Yeah,
find out if
sure.
the smoothie was enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Arish, what about you? Be honest. Let's do customers laugh over about how messy their spreadsheets are or before they move to Business Central? What are your insights on this?
They don't laugh as such, like, but they do cry sometimes. And and the thing is, sometimes they do laugh about it, but it's kind of laugh when you do before you actually cry. So it's always been a pain for them, with always being on silos. But yes, when they migrate to the business central, it actually helps them automating processes and streamline their operations.
Hmm. I hope they will happily laugh after
Hmm.
watching this webcast,
Mhm.
getting insightful meanings and good knowledge about all of the things we are going to talk in this session. So let's start.
Mhm.
Let's start from the very basics. Arish,
Mhm.
from your perspective, I want to know in the very first place.
Mhm.
For someone new to ERP, how would
Mhm.
you describe Business Central in simple terms? I mean, I know, and I'm so sorry, I've been asking this question 1,000 times, but I
Mhm.
want this to make these kind of basics clear before
Yes.
any topic we could start so that our new audiences could also get to know, yeah, what are we talking about eventually? Right. So, could you
Mhm.
give a small insight on the basics of the CRP, which we flaunt about happily and proudly as Business Central?
Sure, Amita. No problem.
Thank
So,
you.
Business Central is an all-in-one tool built for small and medium businesses. It helps you keep tracking or checking everything, from managing finances, sales, to tracking inventory or customer relationship. So instead of having different softwares for each different task, it brings everything together in one easy to use system. So if you are running a business, and it takes care of your essentials like money, customers, stocks, employees, all in one place. So now when it comes to like using going with an ERP solution, it's all about managing all your operations as much as possible into one solution, and that's where Business Central comes into a picture. It's a ERP for the small and medium businesses, so they can manage each and every operations in one single solution.
So, okay, when it comes to BRS, where
Hmm.
do companies usually hit that roadblock in this Business Central system?
Uh, when it comes to like banking and reconciliation, I think that's where many companies encounter challenges in the Business Central. One of the most common roadblocks is dealing with manual processes, things like manual bank statements or matching transactions lines of the transaction, or identifying discrepancies can sometimes, it's a time consuming and sometimes leads to human error as well. So that's a challenge for the businesses sometimes. Another challenge is uh, is dealing with multiple bank accounts or international transactions. So if especially when it comes to when formats vary, of each and every bank, or automation isn't properly set up in the business center, so you need an automation, or something which can automate your processes, and that's where the ISVs like Yavrio comes into a picture, which actually helps to automate these processes in the business center.
Okay, I mean, exactly, I know the pain of downloading the CSVs, matching line by line. It does sound painful, right?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
Josh, this is exactly the gap that Yavrio fills, right? So, in layman terms, if you can explain, is what does Yavrio actually do, and what does Yavrio do inside the BC then?
Yeah. Yeah. So really, we're connecting your bank directly into Business Central, and so based on that connection that's made, a few things are possible that are, number one, able to streamline your bank reconciliation experience. But then also it makes it possible to actually send payments to your vendors directly from Business Central. And so all of this relies on that bank connection. So, the client or whoever would log into the bank, they would use their own credentials. And once that link is made, then they're able to import their bank statements with just a couple clicks. Takes just a couple seconds. And so we want to get rid of that need for, like Arish is saying, manual work in going to the bank portal, downloading your bank statement, going back to Business Central. You got two tabs open and there's a lot happening there. We just want it to be in one place, a few clicks, and you click and there it is. It's done. So that's really what we're doing.
Okay, so you are saying that it is embedded in the Business Central, right?
Mm.
So, for our audience, that does sounds technical, and what does the term embedded also actually mean? Can you explain that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So it really means that we don't want to take you outside of Business Central with any
Mm-hmm.
of the daily tasks that you're looking to do. So again, we don't want you to go to your bank portal and have that tab open and check that every now and again. We want all of the data that's in your bank portal to be accessible inside of Business Central. So that's all we mean by embedded. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So basically, the finance teams or anybody in general do not have to like juggle between the 20 browser tabs anymore, thanks to Yavrio
Yeah.
embedded, right? So that's
Yeah.
actually for me, it's already a win. So, anyways, do you support all the banks in the US and Canada? Like, how does the bank network also looks like in this entire thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So we cover about 12,000 plus institutions. The banking space is super
Wow.
interesting, particularly in the US and Canada. I don't want to bore you guys with the details of that, just with everything happening in the banking space. But really, we exist to be that bridge between what is happening in the banking space and what you just want to do day to day. And so again, we cover 12,000 banks, and in Canada, I believe there are five major institutions that cover just about everything, but we cover up to about 190, of those five, and then all the small local ones that no one would really know. But
Mm,
yeah, we want to make those possible too.
perfect. Thank you so much for the clarity. Um,
Mm.
moving on, I would like to talk about the security and trust here now. So, when it comes to banking, the first thing people think about is security, correct? So, Josh, where are bank credentials stored, and how do you make sure that company feels safe,
Yeah,
that they can
yeah,
trust the entire
absolutely.
system?
Yeah, no, so it's kind of a trick question in a way, where are the credentials stored? Well,
Hmm.
they're not.
Exactly.
So
This is not
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Anywhere, we believe anywhere your sensitive financial data is stored, whether it's on a file, whether it's even in cloud, that's a potential for weakness. So the credentials are encrypted and they're what you would call in transit. So we're not actually keeping
Mm,
hold of them ourselves. Um, yeah, we want everyone to feel safe. It's probably the most important thing when it comes to banking.
okay. Uh, that's actually very reassuring. Arish, when you are talking to customers, is this usually
Mm-hmm.
the first question they ask? Like, can we actually
Hmm.
trust this or something like that?
Yes, Ramita, I think that's actually one of the first question we get, especially when the conversation shifts to automation and integration with banks. Customers naturally want to know, can I trust this, right? And where is the data
Hmm.
going? Is it secure? And I think those are absolutely valid questions or concerns from their perspective. If you look at now, when it comes to
I agree.
ISVs, it's true that for some advanced banking automation like direct bank feeds or reconciliation or maybe embedded payments, ISVs often comes into the picture, but
Hmm.
not all ISVs like are equal, right? And that's why we always recommend going with Microsoft app source certified solutions, and because these go through a strict validation processes for performance, security, and reliability. So yes, customer asks these questions early in the initial stages, and they should.
Hmm.
But once they understand the layered security model and how vetted the ecosystem is, they are usually much more confident moving forward.
Okay. So that is how you maybe reassure them, and they're like just after
Yeah.
they are in after their life with this entire system, they're good to go. And they are there any complaints about this security and trust that they have to encounter after the entire implementation is live?
No, Ramita, I don't think so. We haven't. We
Hmm.
have come across any complaints or the questions post implementation.
Hmm.
Not even with Yavrio. It's all the ISVs we have been partnered with.
Yep.
So we generally recommend those ISVs or partner with those ISVs who are Microsoft certified, available on app source, who has references ready and some use cases or case studies actually available, or they have a like good support channels like post
Hmm.
implementation supports. Otherwise,
Hmm.
any ISVs can implement the solution, but we have some of the ISVs have no idea how they will actually support these solutions if anything breaks, or
Yep.
whether they will be working on the product R&D to keep innovating the product or enhancing its capabilities. So we generally propose those solutions which are reliable and
Hmm.
tested.
Okay, so reconciliation. Let's talk about the topic reconciliation, which is a little complicated, but for me, it is a little boring also. I'm sorry. But I mean, it just eats so much of the finance time, Like, Josh, how often can Yavrio pull bank balances and statements into VC? And once
Yeah.
they're in, how much of the matching is automated? Can you just explain this in a detailed way?
Yes. So again, once that connection's made, bank recs can be
Yep.
performed daily. So it's not a task that has to wait until month end and you've got hundreds of lines that need reconciling. It's just, I'll do this daily, I'll do my 10, 20 lines, and then it's done for the day. And so that's how often with the poll, with matching, we have our own tool. It's an AI
Mm-hmm.
tool. It's called Magic Bank Rec. And that matches
Okay.
with really, really high efficiency, about 98% success rate. Um,
Nice.
so I know, once you get into talking about the matching side, it's like, wait, AI tool. I thought Copilot was an AI matching tool, and so there's a little,
Yeah, even
differentiation
that term
that
came
needs to
into my
happen there.
mind as well. Yep, yep.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I don't, Arish, if you want to talk more about kind of what BC offers out of the box with matching,
Yes, sure, Josh. So in many cases, like it's a kind of manual. Out of the box, Business Central does provide bank reconciliation features, but without tools like like ISVs, Yavrio, or it has like magic matching rules. So in
yeah,
Dynamics 365 Business Central, like matching rules are very basic and may need tweaking for high volumes or complex criteria. So
yeah,
that means like reviewing like dates, amounts, and descriptions. So and if there is like a small mismatch, it can throw the whole reconciliation off sometimes, right?
hmm
So now
I agree.
imagine doing that daily or even weekly across
Mm.
multiple bank accounts. It's not just time consuming, it's sometimes frustrating, and it's sometimes boring as well, as Ramita said. And like it sounds like, but I'm not sure from the finance team perspective whether they like it doing it or no, because most of the business is still doing this.
Yeah.
uh, and it increases the risk of, like as I mentioned previously, errors as well, or delay in month's ends closing. So we have to, so to answer your question, yes, without Yavrio, it has like reconciliation, but it's a kind of like less automated process. So the automation piece makes a huge difference, especially as you scale.
I think 98% is actually like a shocking number for me.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
amazing what the combo can do. I
Yeah.
loved it. It's like an autopilot for the finance team, I feel. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So
exactly.
without Yavrio, Arish, it is I'm just clearing it out.
Hmm.
Is it like without Yavrio, BC is like a manual line by line system that they have to do, and
Hmm. That
what is it
depends,
about?
like how many transactions they do on a daily basis, what scale are they at. If they are
Yeah.
like, uh, if they are looking at scale in the long run, obviously automating this whole process with Yavrio always makes sense. But in Business Central, I'm not saying like it does not have capabilities. It does have
Hmm.
capabilities, but less automated than Yavrio. And that's
So
where, we always propose to be as more automated, like as as possible, because ultimately it gives you time to focus on
hmm.
what is more important for you instead of doing all of these manual stuff.
So basically, I'm okay with just BC if I'm a very small company, startup maybe. I don't have much transactions to handle on a daily basis, correct? And if supposedly I go like I have like 1,000 or 2,000 numbers of transactions to handle every day,
Hmm.
that's where I will have to get this add-on integrated, correct?
Uh, Actually, that depends on scenarios and the use cases, Ramita, and accordingly we propose the solutions. So let's say,
Mm-hmm.
reconciliation may work because there are very few transactions in place, but your banks are still not automated, like not connected for
Mm-hmm.
the embedded payments and other things.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like embedded payments and bank feeds, reconciliation, all of these, you will have to go through a ISVs. Like it's not a big check payments for these ISVs, so it will automate your process. So if you do the like return on investment, like the
Mm-hmm.
efforts your employees are putting to do this manual stuff, utilizing Yavrio's or other ISVs capabilities and paying to them,
Mm-hmm.
I think these ISVs will be better off because your employees will save some time and focus on other stuffs, which is more important.
Maybe if you could give a example, maybe if you could share a customer story, and same question goes to Josh as well. If you have any case study regarding this entire segment, and maybe we can clear this up in a more detailed way to our audience as well.
One of my customer even said their month end closing like become faster, and by
Hmm.
using these ISVs like Yavrio for them. So
Hmm.
beyond time saving, it's about transforming finances into more strategic role. Josh,
Yeah,
over
sure.
to you.
So I'll give a certain case study. They were spending about 5 hours a week per bank account to
Just to
reconcile.
ask, were they like a mid-size, small startup or like a good, huge enterprise?
Yeah, so with this one, it was a little bigger, kind of leaning more towards that enterprise side. So I'll kind of
Okay.
give that case study, but then also talk about the smaller side too, because I know that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
at the
I'm more
heart of that.
interested in the smaller ones. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Yeah. Okay. So I'd say with the smaller ones, case studies we see, they're dealing with around 20 to 200 in the range of transaction lines per
Okay.
month. Usually,
Okay.
when you have a really small team of maybe three or four, you don't have a dedicated accounting team per se who can just
Exactly.
do the reconciliations themselves.
Hmm.
So they don't want to be spending even that, let's say, 30 minutes to an hour to reconcile that account. They
Hmm.
just want, okay, I just want to click and it's pulled and it's done.
Done.
So
Hmm.
typically with the smaller ones, we see that. And then as they grow too, they become more interested in the security layer because they're dealing with more people and they don't want any potential for fraud risk to occur. So it kind of grows and shifts in terms of the time savings and the security gains too. So
Okay, let's move on to payments now. ACH and wires, maybe. Yeah. So I feel they're another headache. So ACH is wires. These are all the transactions which is usually you have to like download a file or upload it to the bank, and maybe you have to double approve, or there are so many challenges, right? So Josh, how does Yavrio make this smoother?
yeah, yeah. So we firmly want to get rid of Nacha files as a method of sending payments. It's just a very risky
Hmm.
thing and a very laborsome thing to do. So
Hmm.
how it does look for anyone who wants to use Yavrio is they're inside Business Central, they're inside the payment journal. They would just
Yep.
click send payments to bank. And so after they click that, there would be a short approval flow. Again, security is the biggest value we have here. So there's an approval flow that takes place with another member of the company. But after that, the payment is sent filelessly. And I say that so slowly because some people fileless payment. They're so used to Nacho files. It's a direct ACH, so I have to repeat it there. But it's a direct ACH and it just goes straight to the bank. And so yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. It's real. It's a real thing. Fileless payments. It's a thing of today.
Hmm.
So
So it's like the magic send button that Yabio offers to the payments
exactly.
team actually
Yeah.
dreamt of.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
exactly right.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So, Arish, are you seeing US and Canadian customers ready for the shift, or is still tied to the bank portals and they're not
Hmm.
maybe even want to see basically any business, be the smaller one or the
Hmm.
enterprise level, the nature of the decision makers should be evolving, correct?
Yep.
So on the very first place, they are supposed to feel that yes, we are ready to adapt something, we are ready to bring in something like this perfect into our systems and which can save our time. But sometimes it's just, they are maybe not ready to accept the new
Hmm.
change in the market today's time, right? So I want to
Yes.
know your perspective in this, and are they ready for that shift? Basically, that's what my eventual question is to you.
Hmm. Yes, Ramita. I think, but we are seeing a kind of mix, but the shift is happening.
Uh-huh.
Many US and Canadian customers still rely on traditional bank portals uh, out of habits, and but
Hmm.
more finance teams are realizing the inefficiencies and risk of switching between Business Central and multiple bank portals or sites. Solution like Yavrio allows secure in-system embedded like payment initiation, better workflows, and real-time visibility as well, where you don't have to, uh, bank logins are not needed actually.
Hmm.
So as
Hmm. Hmm.
companies scale and handle more payments, the move to integrated automated tools like Yavrio is becoming a no-brainer, right?
Hmm.
And like the shift is happening as I mentioned because when businesses implement ERPs like Business Central, they try to actually management tries to automate most of the processes as much as possible because they are looking to automate their operations.
Hmm.
Obviously there is a chance for the user adoption and training and all of these, so which always been taken care by the partner like us or Yavrio sometimes to actually train the users how to utilize the system, but obviously that's a need of the time for the finance team and they knows it, and the shift is
Hmm. Hmm.
happening slowly. Yes.
Josh, I want to throw the same question on you as well. What is your perspective on this? Like, are you seeing from Yavrio's side, from Yavrio's
Mm.
perspective, are you seeing that change, that shift? Or is it like
Yeah,
they can be okay without this and I love doing all of this boring stuff. What is your insight on this?
yeah, I would say that as the banking space in the US is maturing,
Mm-hmm.
so too is the decision-making process, particularly in seeing the need for it, more secure banking solutions. I think as honestly, number one, the fraud risk, but then number two, the cybersecurity risk that is
Mm-hmm.
associated with outdated banking processes. I'd say that's probably the number one area of attack is, can I access your sensitive financial data that you shouldn't have access to. So for decision
Yeah.
makers now, I'd say I'm seeing in the US a growing concern for the security side, which
Mm.
means that they're more willing to explore and adopt solutions like our own to obviously make it more secure. So
Talking about fraud, I think fraud is a very scary word. And for
mm,
everybody, yeah, for even if it is a business owner or even if it is for us three, right? So it is a real worry, right? So, Josh, what extra layers does Yavrio has to add to reduce that fraud risk?
yeah. Exactly. So I mentioned earlier when you're sending
Hmm.
payments, because payments is probably that target area, um, there is a optional security portal where you have that dual approval built in. So one person sends the payment in Business Central, another person will receive an automated email that they'll need to approve the payment before it goes off to the bank for settlement. So we emphasize optional because with those smaller, maybe 2 or 3 person companies, it's just one person doing it, and so they're not really in need of that dual approval flow just yet. But for larger companies and those smaller companies who grow, we want them to have the option to approve it just via email. So a note on that too is that would leapfrog if they would like those approval flows. It would leapfrog their approval flows in the bank. So it's not like they would have a 3 or 4 tiered approval flow. Not everyone wants that many layers. So we want to make it, a smooth experience, but also just really secure too. And so
Mhm.
Of
that
course,
cuts out any
yeah.
any fraud risk. Yeah.
Right.
That actually before smooth, I would prefer secure
Yeah.
as a
Exactly.
anybody. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if supposedly if I'm the finance manager, I'm drowning in reconciliations every month. How different does my life look after Yavrio is in place in my life?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say again, in terms of hour savings, uh, high volume of transactions, at least 20 to 30 hours a month, realistically. And we've done case studies on that for I think it was 10 accounts with high transaction lines. It was about 30 hours a month just on reconciliations alone.
My
Mm.
God,
Yeah.
that's perfect. So yeah, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, just on the time savings side of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to the payments side too, think about how long it takes to, uh, number one, configure your file format for the bank, and then upload that to the bank. That's at least taking you a good 5 minutes plus per payment run. That's just saved immediately with that connection
Hmm.
for payments. Yeah.
So in total, after Yavrio, how many hours is gonna take?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So I'd say case by case, but goodness me,
I want to know
at
the numbers.
least, yeah, I'm doing the maths quickly in my head. I'd say at least 35 to 40 hours a month, with
Okay.
with just again the bank rec and payment side. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually huge. Arish, are your
Mhm.
consumers really seeing these savings? I mean, they're translating it into freeing finance teams for more strategic work. And are they seeing that change? What is your take on this?
Yes, absolutely, Ramita. So the real ROI comes from what finance team can do with the
Mm-hmm.
time they save, right? So by automating these
Mhm.
processes like reconciliations and the payments, uh, customer can go from spending days on manual tasks to minutes, or from minutes to seconds, right? So that freed up time let them focus on high value work like forecasting
Yeah.
and strategic planning and other finance stuff like budgeting. So as I mentioned in the previous answer as well, so beyond time saving, it's about transforming finances into more strategic role. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of doing like these
Yeah.
manual entries, so they will just now focus on how to actually, strategically plan to grow business and
Mm-hmm.
automate other things, what is more important, etc. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So when we speak to businesses, obviously they need this, and they knows like they are realizing it's very important for them. And when it comes to like when they plan the projects like implementing business central, at the same time we generally propose to automate these processes like bank
Mm-hmm.
automation, AP automation, or integrations with other solutions. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where the real ROI comes from.
That's perfect. That's actually a huge profit. I'd say I don't know any businesses because time is money,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
okay. Another challenge that I see in this entire process is software setup. It is a
Mhm.
real challenge, and many people fear of this. I'd not say fear, but they think that it is quite complicated. I might be wrong. So, Josh, how long does Yavrio usually take to implement? And what do you like charge? Do you charge extra for training or something like that sort?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have two methods of deployment. We have
Mm-hmm.
really strived to be as plug and play as possible. So we are available on app source for download. And again, for 90% of the connections, it's as simple as install, register, and then just begin connecting your accounts. So it's all under 24 hours, that process.
Mm-hmm.
This is for 90% of the deployments. For the other 10%, we're looking at around an 8-week deployment. And the need for that is when the bank needs us to establish our own connection to them, either
Okay.
because they have some sort of commercial bank account that is much harder to just plug in and connect. There's kind of more stringent
Exactly.
regulations or permissions around it.
Hmm.
So bank
Mm-hmm.
account types like that, but that's really the rare case. I'd say it's a 90-10 split of plug and play to, okay, we need to build out that connection. When it comes to the training side and, is there any extra cost? Is usually the first question is, will it cost extra?
Yeah,
We
that's
don't
why I asked you the
charge.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question. We don't charge extra for training or setup, and
Mm.
yeah, maybe a little later. I think we could talk a little more about just like how do we charge for what we offer, but we really don't want there to be any additional fees because we want it to be as easy as
Yeah.
possible. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So basically, it's something a layman also can do basically, right?
yeah,
And there is no hidden fees. That's
yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
we don't do
So,
that.
Ash, from your perspective, how do you make sure
Hmm.
that adding Yavrio into BC
Hmm.
is not overwhelming the customers during go live?
Actually, that's a really important point and a good question as well, because even if a tool is very powerful, and if it's rolled out at the wrong time or in a wrong way,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it can overwhelm the customer. So from our perspective, it's all about timing
Mm-hmm.
of implementing these or introducing these solutions. So we are very intentional about when to introduce ISVs like Yavrio in the project timeline. So if it's a business center, like new business center implementation, we usually focus first on getting core financials live,
Okay.
right? So then we layer in Yavrio for bank feeds, reconciliation, payments, once the team is comfortable. And the good news is like these ISVs, like Yavrio is built to be user friendly and purposefully aligned with the Business Central designs because it's developed on top of Business Central.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's actually helps customer to understand its the process of implementing or connecting, registering in the Business Central.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So, basically, you are saying is that there is not as it is not as much complicated as
No.
it seems to.
Correct.
And in the end, if you go through any problems, you eventually have the support by DS team.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Dynamic Square team, yes, obviously can certainly, because Dynamic Square team will be managing the Business Central implementation while
Mm-hmm.
implementing the core financials and all of these processes are completed and we start the UAT like user acceptance testing. While doing this, we coordinate with Yavrio, enable the extensions for Yavrio into the Business Central, do the setup in the sandbox environment, and do the testing internally. So whenever we would need any assistance from Yavrio teams, obviously we reach out to them because they have a support uh, portal as well for the partners like us specifically. So we reach out to them, get our questions answered, or if required, we get them on a call with the clients as well if client needs some assistance directly from Yavrio. So yeah, so actually it's a kind of mutual interaction or the collaboration we do together to implement the Business Central as well as these ISVs like Yavrio.
Coming back to the hidden fees question, let's do some pricing clarity as well. Basically, because for any consumer, or if you see my perspective, it is a make or a break, right? And
Hmm.
such powerful systems can seem overjudged and can be seen very expensive, right?
Correct.
So, Josh, is Yavrio priced per bank statement, per transaction line, or it is more like a flat subscription, not a Netflix one, but a flat subscription? Or would you like
Yeah.
to like highlight some details on pricing for our views as well, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do charge that flat subscription fee. We're not charging either per bank statement pull or per bank statement lines. Any level of automation that just comes with our app is again included in that flat subscription fee. The only additional costs, which are ultimately optional, would be whether they would like the auto matching tool that we have. That's
Hmm.
an optional fee once more. And then the payment side, the payments are priced a little differently. And so we've kind of made those optional because for some people, they really want the feed side, they really want the bank statement side, but they're not so interested in the payments. And for some people, they really want the payments, but they're not so interested in the bank reconciliation. So again, those modules are optional there. The only variation that can happen there, we don't want training fees, we don't want support fees or setup fees or anything like this. The only time there is an implementation fee is if we do that
Hmm.
10%, again, that 90-10 split. So if their account requires a little more setup, then there would be a nominal one-time implementation fee. So
Hmm.
those are all the variations with our pricing model.
Yeah, thank you for the clarity.
Mm.
Okay, before we just close this entire episode, let's do a fun session if you both are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah, let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, let's do a rapid fire session then, if
Sure.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask the question to both of you, and you can answer in one word or maybe a one liner. Don't stretch it to like 10 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So if you could automate one task in your personal life, the way we automate in Business Central, what would it be?
Oh, I've got an answer. Arish, do you have one?
Automating these meetings,
Yeah,
recording as well as summarizing it for future reference.
yeah.
And what about you, Josh?
Yeah, I would step a little outside
Mm-hmm.
the screens, and I would just say automating writing things down by hand. I don't Some days I love it. It feels very, very fun, but other days I'm like I wish this could be automated. So yeah,
Oh.
pen and paper for me. Yeah.
Pen and paper for you.
Okay.
Perfect. That's cute. Okay. One business buzzword. You secretly wish people could stop using.
Oh, I would say any words around the loop, being in the loop, staying in the loop, being out of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
loop
What
for
about
me.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is so relatable, actually. What about you, Arish?
I would say like FYI, for your information,
It's a very
Okay.
because
confrontational abbreviation.
yes, you can just forward it.
I don't know why did I felt that pain in Arish's voice.
No,
Yeah, I could see.
no, but I see the laziness in it, like FYI.
I agree
So
too.
Yeah.
either you can just directly forward it.
Okay. Okay, the last question is a little tricky one. You can take like not more than a minute though. Uh, if Business
Wow.
Central plus Yavrio were a movie duo,
But a movie duo.
movie duo, which duo
Wow.
would they be?
Wow, that's a good
Well,
question.
you know what I'd say. It's James Bond and her boss,
Mm,
M. M.
mm, right. I'd say Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God, quite
Yeah,
intense. Okay, and what
yeah.
about you, Arish?
I'm not sure. I might take uh, days to think about it, which is the right fit, because I don't
Uh,
remember movies actually. I do watch movies,
Yeah,
but I don't remember the you know the names of the movie or the
yeah, yeah.
actual
mm,
No
actor's
worries.
name. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Let's move to a future outlook, maybe.
Mhm.
Let's look ahead into the future. And Josh, what's next for you? Like any new features or any focus areas on this roadmap?
yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to areas of banking that we can
Yeah.
put in Business Central, just to
Mm-hmm.
improve what's already there, I'd say the number one target area that we're looking at is automated ACH pulls. So the
Yeah.
payment side, you're handling the ACH push, but for collecting invoices, we want to make that automated and fileless as well. So I'd say
Mhm.
that's a big target area, but there's many, many more things that we'd have to maybe have on another call to go in depth about. But I'd
Episode
say
two.
that's
I'm
episode
noting it
two.
down.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Alice? What is next
Mhm.
for maybe Business Central and what Dynamic Square has on its way in this roadmap journey? 2026, maybe.
Yes. So Ramita, see, Dynamics 365 is evolving fast. So is Business Central.
Mm-hmm.
Every Microsoft releases like waves, major updates, minor updates every month. every, in 6 months, like the major
Yeah.
updates. The wave
Two
2 is
waves,
about to come, yeah, in October. So Business
in October,
Central,
yes.
obviously, yes, is evolving, and it has,
Thanks for that.
uh,
Yeah, I need to get
hmm,
updated.
yes, and it is Microsoft pushing AI as well into the Business Central. We are getting more
Hmm.
agents in it, and
And
so
I love
apart
that.
from
I
these,
love that.
yes, exactly, everyone loves it actually.
This is also
So
something we can talk in episode 2. I'm so sorry for breaking.
sure, yeah, sure. We will. We can discuss about it in more details. Maybe after
Yeah.
wave 2 updates, we can have this session again and discuss about it, what Microsoft has released. So apart from
Hmm.
these ISVs, Microsoft is actually also trying to automate the processes using Copilot agents and other, capabilities it provides. And
Hmm.
customer, apart from these updates, like customer needs ISVs partners as well. Like it's not like
Hmm.
they can just go away because Microsoft releasing updates, because Microsoft has created this channel of ISVs and the networks. So, and customer would like to go with those ISVs, actually will grow with it, like not just keep up, but actually innovate, keep
Yeah,
innovating.
yeah,
uh, Partners like Yavrio, who's continuously enhance features, stay aligned with Microsoft roadmaps, like in terms of Business Central, they have like solution for others products as well, and listen to
Hmm.
customer feedbacks as well. Make sure the solutions stays future ready, because if you're not
Hmm.
listening to the customers, you are actually, uh, leaving yourself behind, because you have no idea like
Hmm.
where to work on. So I think Yavrio is doing a good job. So
Hmm.
so is
Is
Business
that?
Central
Yeah.
apart from this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I love your point of view, Arish, and that is actually very exciting. I also want to know one last thing from you is how important it is for BC customers for
Mhm.
using BC to choose ISV partners like Yavrio who keep innovating with the platform.
It is very important, and I always propose these solutions because I strongly believe that automating your processes will actually give you the ROI. If you're paying to Microsoft like for subscription monthly, yearly, but you're not actually utilizing the whole environment with full
Hmm.
of its capabilities, because you have no
Yeah.
idea how all of these works. And that's a job of the partner like us, who has to give a clear picture to the client to make sure they are updated about these products, and where is the, like if there is a gap, how to fill those gaps, like automating these
Hmm.
processes. And we always try to, at Dynamic Square, we just don't wait for the customers to reach out to us so that we can provide support to them. We just
Hmm.
actually, if we see there is a gap, we always propose to fill those gaps. If
Hmm.
it's up to the customer actually if they would like to go ahead with these solutions or no, but we always propose these solutions. Or sometimes,
Perfect.
we
Yeah.
just keep it for the phase 2 projects. So let's say if we are going to implement the Business Central, so we always
Hmm.
try to keep it as simple as possible as an initial project, so that for the user adoption, and customers start using the solution, and then we keep on enhancing it
You
with
bring
other
smoothly Yavrio in.
capabilities.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Exactly.
Hmm. Okay, so that the customer doesn't feel overwhelmed. Okay.
Exactly, because otherwise there will be a lot of challenges in terms of user adoption, UAT,
Hmm.
because everything will be new for them. So it will be
Hmm.
like, they go big bang with everything, and they have no idea how to use it.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Okay, this has been such an insightful session from me today. Joshua, Arish, thank you so much for joining us in. Before we wrap up, how was today's conversation for you? And maybe you could drop a message you'd like the audience to take away. Starting
yeah,
from you, Josh. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, this has been great fun. Thank you for having me on. and hoping everyone watching or listening has learned a bit more about banking and the banking space and Business Central. I'd say, if you want to learn more and begin testing with us, just reach out. I'm sure Ramita will put our emails somewhere that they're
Of
accessible.
course.
So
Yes, I think they can also reach out to Dynamic Square and we will connect with Yavrio to them.
yeah, absolutely.
That would be easy for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's been a great conversation. I must say, I really enjoyed diving into the real world of bank automations. For
Me
me, the
too.
session was full of learning. I learned from both of you a lot.
Mm.
And Ramita, from your questions and from Josh answers. And it's been pleasure being part of this conversation. And if there is one key uh, takeaway for me, it start like the bank automation actually enables finance team to move beyond manual tasks and focus on more strategic and value driven work with
Mm.
the kind of like right tools in place and the right partners like Yavrio and Dynamic Square, that transformation is absolutely achievable.
Thank you so much. I have
Yeah,
learned a
once.
lot from you too. This was such a great, insightful session for me again. You have made, banking inside ERP, banking overall sound very, very, very less painful. If you have made it sound the same, less painful factor to me, I'm sure the audience is also very happy by knowing all of the insights from both of you. Like VC and Yavrio, you both were a perfect combo for today's session to explain all of this entire complicated, not so complicated session. So thank you so much. I've learned a lot of myself. So to everyone listening, if you're tired of juggling bank portals, reconciliation spreadsheets, and duplicate approvals, I hope this gave you a glimpse of how Business Central and Yavrio together can simplify life for the finance
Hmm,
teams.
exactly.
So yeah, that's my takeaway for people. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joshua and
Thank you,
Arish, for
Ramita.
today's session. I think we are
Thank
done for
you.
today.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you,
Hoping
Ramita.
to plan a second episode with both of you very, very, very soon.